So sorry, this is like part two. I'm doing this from my phone because I was just like, I don't have time to set everything up. I'm just talking now. So, but they told me like, you can't, So, I kept working and I got into a depression. I couldn't, I, okay, I could not get up. Okay. First of all, I had no car, I had no money except the money that I would give to her. So, if I wasn't going to a slam, poetry slam, even though I was losing in DC, it was the only way I was staying alive. Because every day I was laying down. But also that time I was studying for my medical school entrance exam. So those are the only two things that gave me hope to keep going. And then I ended up doing some other type of employment where I had to travel to different states. And that was only for 2 months. And that helped me too because that got me inspiration to write my book. But I quit my job. I finally was able to afford to see a therapist while I was staying with my mom. And I had to take 2 buses to get to the therapist. And the therapist told me, you gotta get out of your house somehow because you're dying. You're literally dying. Literally I'd come home and I'd just sleep all day, and then I'd get up and I would every time I would be around the house, I would listen to music because my parent would just be putting me down. You ungrateful bitch, you selfish, da, 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 da. And nothing I did was enough. And I was trapped. I had nowhere to go. I had no car. So, now I have my own place and stuff. But you see, that whole feeling like I have responsibility because I don't deserve to be here. I have to prove that I deserve to be here because I'm not a horrible child. And, your parent coming home from rehab when you were a child and saying, the therapist said you're the reason I drink. Or, your parent coming home and saying, my coworkers just think you're a terrible, horrible child. I should give you up for adoption. Having your parent throw bags in your room and tell you to get lost, and then having every single person in your family enable them and say, yeah, Ashley is bad. Forget that she had a 4.6 GPA and she did all this stuff. Forget it. She's a terrible. I agree with you. She's terrible. They enabled my parent. And so all of this built up inside of me, carried on, even when I lived by myself, because I was still talking to this person, and this person was still making me feel guilty, and this person was still making me feel like it's my job to take care of them and carry them, and it's not. And I can't I can't go on with my goals, which are so strenuous and complicated and complex, with this person. And so why is this on the channel, right? So, if anything I've said sounds like your parent, I'm sorry. If you're a kid, I'm definitely sorry. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, I left home a lot. And nobody knows this because I was such a good student. I loved school. I was sad when school was out because school was my way. I didn't have to go home. And when I went home, there's no way I could escape the abuse because my parent would bust into my room and yell at me and scream at me, and sometimes my parent would just sit on my bed and antagonize me and follow me around. So nobody had any idea. Nobody knows. And I know that moving forward, people will shame me for shaming my mother, but I'm not shaming her. I love her. It's just, I can't live continuing to be attached to that person and those people. Um, I see the ways that it has affected me when you deal with a narcissist for a long time, especially when where you feel like you're stuck and you develop some type of Stockholm syndrome because you feel like there's nowhere else you can go as a child. It really has effect on you, and it brings your threshold level of how much pain you can endure all the way up. And that's not good. It's not good that you can endure so much pain. And you should never have to endure so much pain. And I can tell you personally, I've dealt with a lot of people, friends, people I've dated, and they all possessed the same thing. Not all of my friends, obviously. I have great friends, I have great tribe, but some people have slipped through the cracks and try to take advantage of me because they saw like I was a people pleaser and I would bend over backwards for people because I felt like I owed people. I feel like I owe people just for being nice to me, just for letting me breathe. And that's just something that you have to heal from, and I'm healing with you, and I'm going to tie this back into tarot. I don't want people who have been with a narcissist in a relationship or who have a narcissist parent to check tarot readings to decipher if they should go back to that person. You should never go back to somebody who has abused you, and emotional abuse is so hard to decipher. It's so confusing. I'm confused, okay? Because your parent, for instance, they took care of you. They didn't throw you away, but they never hugged you. They called you dirty. They made you feel bad, and you had nowhere to go. Everyone was a mirror reflection of what they said. And that's not healthy. And those type of friends aren't healthy either. I had a friend who I had to pay for them for stuff. And I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, I was taking care of them. And I was like, that's because I took care of my parents. Like, you can also look up that narcissist parents, they treat their child as like a partner. Sometimes they can do that. And that was the role that I had. So, and if you've been in a relationship where it's been like that, where you felt like, well, I won't get any better. They said they're the only person that loved me, and they did all this good stuff. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's not healthy. Okay, so don't look up any card reading asking about these people. And I know you're told you're supposed to have a lover by this age. You're supposed to be with your parents every holiday season, or people will criticize you. Well, why do you live by yourself? It's so expensive. Because you want to live. It's not about if you're saving $300 a month. And it's not about that you got a ring on your finger. You want to stay alive. For real. And people act like just because you don't have no physical scars on you, it means you're all right. You're just weak. You're just sensitive. How many times did my family call me weak and sensitive? Okay? That's not true. You're not weak and you're not sensitive. And actually, you should listen to yourself, because I have not listened to myself for a very long time. And I have self-loathed myself for a very long time. So listen to yourself. That's all I wanted to really say. The Libra new full moon makes you realize this. It makes you realize what you've been dealing with and what you need to heal from. And I guess for a long time, I personally felt like, oh, you're just overreacting. You deserve to be called a bitch, and you deserve to be called all these names, and you are dirty. Your mom is right. Everything that you touch is dirty, filthy. You're a horrible child. You ruined everyone's life. But no, I'm telling you, you deserve to live, okay?